Hello friends, this is Jen. We are on for some yoga this morning. Look at this crazy little strap here I have. There, I'm properly settled in. I mentioned at the end of yesterday's class that I was interested in doing some like shoulder opening stuff, stuff that's a little bit more square. So that is what's on the docket for today. I kind of love that we've just labeled this like a midweek yoga class. So we have a lot of flexibility in changing things up, whether we want to do something a little bit more mellow or a little bit more intense, I should say. So today it's probably going to be veer a little bit more on the intense side, but still involve a lot of stretching to get our muscles nice and loose and warm for our midweek practice. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I really love just the idea of taking a couple of moments to slow things down. So we'll begin as we usually begin with this left leg crossed in front of right. And just relax your hands on your lap or on either side against the floor, whatever works better for you. And take a moment here just to close down your eyes, empty out your lungs. Take a full deep inhale, breathe deep, fill up your lungs. On your exhale, relax your face. Relax your neck, your shoulders down away from your ears. Let's do that one more time. Full deep inhale. And long, slow exhale. Tuck your chin in toward your chest. And on your next inhale, start to roll your head over your left shoulder. And we're moving right away into our full head roll. So take your time as you let your head roll back. It's your very first one, so give yourself some time, be gentle. Allow your head to roll over your right shoulder. Still your shoulders relaxed, and eventually tuck your chin in toward your chest. And let's do that one more time. Your next inhale, let your head roll over your left shoulder. Allow your neck to feel that nice stretch, your throat to feel that openness as you let your head roll back. And again, take your time. Let your head roll over your right shoulder. And eventually let your chin roll back down toward your chest. Very good. Your next inhale, lift your chin up. Arms go all the way up high toward the ceiling. Give me a cactus here. Lift your chest up. Send your elbows out and back behind you. Squeeze your blades. Do that one more time. Inhale, arms go all the way up. And then exhale, again, draw your elbows wide and back. Squeeze your blades. Open your chest. And then from here, let your hands drop down. Interlace your fingers back behind you. Drop your knuckles down and open up your chest once again. You might let your knuckles just rest, maybe do a little bit of right-left action. We're going for some squareness, some openness, some evenness in our shoulders today. Take some time for yourself. It's organic movement. You don't have to follow a particular set formula, whatever feels nice. Do again. Open your chest on your inhale and exhale. Maybe you send your knuckles out a little bit farther. Push your chest up a little higher. Nice. And then gently release. Shake loose these arms, lean back, and then switch out these legs. So again, we have our head circles. Your eyes can be open or closed, your choice. Start to let your chin tuck down towards your chest. I'm gonna keep my eyes open today. On your next inhale, roll your head over your right shoulder. Take your time. Especially as your head rolls back, there might be a little bit like of a pinching sensation. Take your time. Or instead of avoiding, you're just allowing, letting your body feel. Head over your left shoulder. Return your chin down toward your chest. And then do that one more time. Head over your right shoulder. Even if there's a little bit of discomfort, use your breath. Approach it fresh, without expectations. Let your head roll eventually to your left shoulder. And chin back down toward your chest. Good, allow your spine to round a little bit farther. Again, going for that even sensation. Push against your legs as you open your chest, draw your shoulders back, squeeze squeeze your blades. Exhale, we go round. Relax your shoulders, hollow out your chest. Do that again. Inhale, go open your chest, draw your shoulders back, squeeze your blades. Exhale, go round. Super nice. Good. Your next inhale, come back through center. Plant your hands down to the floor and we'll come up onto our knees. And then from here, very, very slowly, just hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Start to lower your chest down to that space in between your hands. So your hips are way up high. And then slowly scoot yourself forward, all right? And allow your legs to go back behind you. Press your legs, your feet down firm into the floor. Fingertips in line with shoulders, maybe slightly back behind. And on your next inhale, draw your shoulders back, right? Just simply squeeze your blades together. Start to pick your chest up off of the floor with a nice neutral neck lift and gently return. Do that one more time. Inhale, go lift. Yes, strong spine and gently return. Good. We'll take these hands back behind us, interlace your fingers, and maybe just straightening out your arms is a big ask. Take your time. On your inhale, push your knuckles back, open your chest, draw your shoulders back, and gently return. Do that again. Send your knuckles back, open your chest, shoulders back. Maybe you lift your arms up off of your bottom here, gently return. Now your next 2 rounds, start to pick your legs up off the floor. Inhale, go send your knuckles back, open your chest, lift your legs up. Yes, gently return. One more time. Inhale, go lift, send your knuckles back, squeeze your legs, open your chest. Beautiful, gently we return. All right, from here, use your hands in front of you to push and move into a Sphinx. So let your elbows come underneath, elbows about shoulder width apart. Pull your elbows in toward your hip points. Drop your hips down, open your chest. Find some length through your front side body, not too crunchy into your back side. Now your legs, let's keep them at about, again, hip width apart. And we'll squeeze this right heel in, right? Just like you're doing a little glamour shot. Yep. And then gently return your right leg long and straight. Let's do the left. Go squeeze your heel in and gently return. Nice and easy, right? Do both. So squeeze your both heels into your hips and gently return. From this place, again, we'll move into that right side. If you can afford to do it, we'll just take this right hand back behind, reach for your right ankle, and see if you might be able to kick. Kick into your hand. Feel your right shoulder automatically get drawn back from that kick. All right, this is basically like almost a half bow, right? And then gently return. We'll go the other direction. So instead of kicking out, we'll bring our heel in. And I'm gonna slide my hand now to the arch side, my thumb toward my big toe, and gently press down. And if this has always been a little bit tricky, I think from this angle, actually, it's quite good to for me to show you. Your fingers face in the same direction as your toes. And as you squeeze your heel in closer, start to send your elbow up, face your fingers same direction as your toes. As you push, give your heel a gentle nudge in closer to your hip. We'll take one more breath here. It's a little bit aggressive if you've not done this before. It's okay, you just try. Open your chest, get that nice little quad stretch. And just when you're like, I want to fling out of it, you carefully unwind yourself out of it, release. All right, from here, just as a quick little reset, press the tops of your feet into the floor, engage your strong core, send your elbows in. As you pull your navel in tight, lift your hips up, find yourself in a quick little forearm plank. Hold right here for 4, you're very strong. For 3, fill out your low back, hollow out your chest for 2. For 1, gently, gently lower yourself back down, good. So we'll do the other side. I'm gonna switch the side so you can see a little bit better here. Okay, so we pick up this left leg, and just notice as you do this, it's easy for this left knee to start to move out to the side or go out of its lane. You really want to keep everything best we can, right, in a good alignment, so heel is not coming in or out. If we can manage it, we take this left hand, reach for our foot. And then earlier, I'll do match what I did earlier. From here, again, your knees are pretty close with each other. We're going for the kick away. As you kick into your hand, allow your left shoulder to get drawn back and feel that openness in your shoulder, in your chest. Good. These things require a little bit of time and patience, so they're maybe not quite as sexy as those flowy movements, but they are so good, especially here, we're trying to open up our shoulders or chest. And gently release. I'm gonna switch, right? So I'm gonna take this hand to the arch side. So fingers in line with my toes. And watch for my elbow here. Somehow this lighting, this shading works so beautifully for this. Send your elbow up, and then see if you can change your fingers to the same direction as your toes as you press down. Give yourself a good quad stretch. Again, my knee is not pushed out to the left, pretty darn even with my right. Push, push, push. Open your chest just the same. Yep. And gently, gently, let's release this leg. Return your hand, your elbow, back down. Again, we have a reset, so press your strong feet into the floor, pull your navel in nice and tight, lift. Find your forearm plank, hold. Hold for 4, belly in tight, for 3, for 2, for 1. Excellent. Lower yourself down, change this into hands. Take an inhale. Use your strong spine, use a little bit of strength in your arms. Get your thighs up off the floor, upward facing dog. Draw your shoulders back, open up through your chest. Then from here, use your strong core to lift your hips up, flip your toes, and move into that downward facing dog. Breathe, nice and easy here. In through your nose, and out through your nose. Beautiful. Look forward, step forward. I'm not gonna step too far forward so don't come out of screen. Inhale, halfway lift, yeah. Exhale, fold, inhale, go. Arms all the way up high toward the ceiling. And exhale, hands in the prayer position. Okay, let's shift our body weight. We're gonna go back into this right leg, kicking back. So shift your body weight into your left leg. Bend up your right leg like you're a little flamingo and take your right hand to your right ankle. So we'll start here, knees close, so we're not letting this knee flare out to this side. And then let's take this left hand, bring it also to our ankle. Yes, inhale, lift your chest up, start to gently, gently kick this right foot into your hands. Start to open up through your chest. Now I'm doing it from the side so you might not be able to see it, but what we want to do is keep everything in its own lane, right? So as we kick, it's easy to get this knee to flare out to the side. When it kicks, so our shoulders are even as we send this leg back and up. So even as you start to bring your upper body down, it's a function of not being able to kick any farther while you're in your same lane. Continue to kick, continue to kick, continue to kick. See if you might be able to get your toes to peek out over the top of your head. Woo, and I lost it. Gently, gently return back to your place. Very good. All right, we unwind, so left hand into the center of your chest. Let go of your foot. See if you can keep your heel up there and gently release. Shake it loose. We'll do the other side. All right, so body weight into your right leg. Let's pick up this left foot. And we're picking up this left foot without the use of our hand just quite yet to see how much we can lift up our leg on its own. And then you reach for your foot, grab it. And you want to keep these knees fairly close. Notice if you're overly arching, this might be just a me problem, not a everyone problem. And then from here, let's see if we can take this right hand also to this left ankle. Easy to dump here, right? Rely on your kind of grip of your foot. Lift up out of your waist. I'm kind of exaggerating, but kind of not. I was a little bit dumped. From this place, send your foot directly back away from your bottom. Open your chest. So you're creating this evenness as you draw your shoulders back. Continue to kick, not allowing this left knee to flare out to the left. Your left top of thigh faces the floor. Continue to kick even as you lower yourself down. You're continuing to kick. Yes. Okay, go for 4. Open your chest for 3. Kick, go for 2. For 1. Gently, gently lift yourself back up. Really nice. All right, from here we're unwinding. So stay tall. Right hand into the center of your chest. Let go your left hand into the center of your chest. Still you have that little flamingo foot. And gently release. Good. Shake it loose. Come over to a wall, right? So hopefully you're in a place where a wall is easily accessible to you. We're just doing some more openness for our shoulders before we continue. All right. So this one, we're gonna bring our left shoulder close to the wall. Just take this left arm, tee it out, and see if you might be able to start to open your chest so that it's in a 90-degree angle with the wall. Exactly. So this one kind of gives us a nice open sensation. You might even use your right fingers to push against the wall to offer you a bit more of a stretch. Good, and then we'll gently undo. Take this to a 90-degree angle with your left hand, left arm. And then I'm gonna step this right foot back, left foot forward. So here I am. And then again, use your right fingers to help push. And maybe you give yourself a deeper chest stretch, more openness in your shoulder. Good, let's gently, gently unwind. Good, let's switch it out. So now we're doing the tee out arm with our right arm. And see if you might be able to, again, open your chest so that it becomes more and more 90 degrees relative to the wall. Good openness in your chest. And again, these are stretches that take a little bit of time, so it feels not as sexy as those flowy ones, but we do them all the same, so good for us. And gently release. We'll take it to a 90-degree angle, same deal. See if you can push, open your chest. Find that deeper stretch. Push into your left fingers as you see fit. Good, and then gently, gently release. Really nice. We'll come back down to the floor. So we'll start with this downward facing dog, which we know. So bring your hands down, tuck your toes in, send your hips back and up. And we move into pigeon real quick. Send your left leg up high toward the ceiling, 3-legged dog. And then exhale, send your left knee through. Find yourself just in a pigeon shape. So left, I'm gonna be square forward to face you. When we talk about like your leg in its lane, when you're square forward, for instance, you don't want this right leg to be peeking out to the right. You want it to be directly back behind you. And as such, I'm just gonna switch my angle now. As such, when you are square, this right thigh, you want it to be kind of flat, facing the floor, right? So rather than letting your inner thigh come in, you want the top of your right thigh to be flat against the floor. If you feel like you are quite lifted, meaning your hips are quite high up off of the floor, tuck your right toes in, your back toes in, and see if you might be able to scooch back a little bit farther. Still taking care that your right leg thigh is facing the floor the best you can. And then untuck toes. Take a moment here to square yourself up. Use your fingers to help you lift your chest, get up nice and tall. And then from here, slowly, slowly maintain the length in your spine as you hinge forward. Fairly even between both legs. So we're not letting ourselves just completely collapse into our left-hand side. This right thigh, top of thigh, is fairly flat against the floor, best we can, right? Of course, if there's a little bit of deviation, no problem. We're just practicing, right? No problem. Take a couple breaths here. I've mentioned that my low back has felt a little bit funny, and I kid you not, if we spend time in these forward folds, right, whether it's like hamstring focused or hinge focused, if we can devote a little bit of energy toward lengthening out our low back and decompressing our low back, these forward folds, whether it's pigeon or a regular forward fold, feel so nice to help alleviate pressure, compression in our low back. Take one more breath here. Good. Your next inhale, walk yourself up. And then check again if you've lifted up off of the floor. You might be able to do that tuck of your back toes in and sitting yourself back down once again. All right, so just as we did earlier, bend up your back leg. Now notice as you do this automatically, I'm gonna bring my left hand inside of my left leg. Automatically your hips will lift a little bit. That's okay. Your best effort to keep them down is perfect. Now we're gonna go for the arch side grab. So right hand reaches for your right foot. Let's say the arch side is really kind of far for you. Reach for the outside just as we did in the very first option. And then start to just walk your fingers around your foot, so now you are at the arch side. So that's just a little quick party trick just in case reaching for the arch side from the get-go is a little bit tricky, right, which I totally get. As you do this, it's really easy also for your right knee to veer out toward the right. So keep it back behind and see if you might be able to give yourself just a little push. Heel comes down closer to your hip. Start to feel that openness through your right quad, that stretch. Open up through your chest. Little bit of work in your low back. All right. Beyond this, let's undo this push. Take again our foot to the outside. Now our quad is a little bit more stretched out, more willing to work with us. So we're going back to that first option. If you find that the moment you lift your left hand, this bottom supporting hand off of the floor, you topple over, you can always place a blanket or something else to support you underneath your left butt cheek. Otherwise, we're gonna try. Take this left hand up off of the floor and reach for your right foot. So just by doing this, your right thigh will want to move into your right inner thigh, touching the floor. But best we can, we find that openness and kick into your hand. See if you can get both shoulders more evenly pushed open. Draw your shoulders back. Open up through your chest. Kick out one more time. Good. And gently release your left hand out of it. Return your left hand down. We again switch to the arch side, but this time, listen, let's take this foot, and move it into the soft part of your elbow. Now, I just did a quick glide there. If you were like, what just happened? You can do this. If this foot feels very reluctant to move into a deeper angle in your leg, you can do this kind of nudgy motion. I'm doing a little circling until your foot kind of hits right about the soft part of your elbow. If that's still not quite working, remember you're supported on your left butt cheek. You can also see if you can nudge your foot in with the help of your right arm and take your left hand to your right toes and reposition yourself. Okay, so now we have our foot in the soft part of our elbow, and maybe your right hand has access to touch your right knee even. From here, if this is still working out for you, you might take your hands to meet, right? And this is nice. You have a good quad stretch, you have a good hip opener, you can stay here. One more option. Pick up this left elbow, see if you can tuck your head underneath this left arm. And then lift up your chin, your chest. Take a breath here. Good openness in your chest. Relax your shoulders down. Good openness in your hips and through your quad. Good, gently, gently then, let's unwind. So you can tuck your chin in, reverse the way you got into it. Gently, gently release this right leg. Never slingshotting so our bodies don't get used to this kind of randomness in and out. We train our bodies to value those transitions just the same. From here, tuck your right toes in. Send this left leg up and high. Lift. And then lower your left foot down. Shake loose your legs. Do what you need to do. Whatever feels nice for a reset. We have our next side. I'm going to go from this angle. Inhale, right leg goes up high toward the ceiling. Lift. And let's find ourselves in pigeon. So send your right knee through. And this is kind of our really kind of nice, easy pigeon. I'm going to face you square so that we can double check that this left leg is not peeking out to the left. Generally, it's the case that it won't peek out to your right. It'll want to peek out to your left, or whichever back leg it is. Your right leg's back behind you. Generally, it won't want to peek out to the left. It'll want to peek out to the right, so the same side. Okay, so once you've found your good position, we're thinking about our left knee, our left top of thigh, flat against the floor, best we can, right? So instead of letting ourselves fall over, I'm exaggerating a little bit. We want to be kind of square. If you feel like your hips are kind of lifted, you might want to tuck your toes in and send your back leg back a little bit farther and square yourself up just a little bit more. Feel that work in your low back, which feels not so good sometimes, but it's good work, good strength. And especially if there are those moments or those postures or those transitions that feel like not so good. I can't always guarantee I do this every single time, but I really try to take one of those things that don't feel like super, super good and commit to letting myself stay in that place for a little bit longer than I'd really like to. And I feel like it does get better, right? A little bit. My body starts to feel more familiar with it, and there's less of this reluctance to go into it. From here, let's gently fold. Still the top of your left thigh flat against the floor. Still best you can, you're transitioning mindfully, so your spine is as long as possible. You give yourself a really lovely rest here. Not only do we get this wonderful decompression for our low back, we have, of course, this really nice hip opener. And this one, because our leg is angled pretty deep, pretty like acutely actually, like it's a less than 90-degree angle. Hopefully it is not super, super taxing and it's accessible enough for us to stay for a longer period of time. If at any point in time you are not liking your rest over your leg, you can lift yourself up using the support of your elbows, or maybe it's the case that you feel like, oh, my spine's a little bit rounded. You can always lift yourself up and reposition yourself. I'm a huge advocate of the whole halfway lift business. So let's just take a couple of breaths here. Allow your body to be heavy over your right leg. And allow that beautiful stretch, that elongation that you feel in your left hip flexor area. That feels really nice too. Good, your next inhale, let's prop ourselves up. So hands on either side again. And then take this opportunity as you come up to this upright position. If you feel again that your hips have lifted up on you, you just tuck your toes back and see if you might be able to close off the space between you and the floor just a bit more. We move forward. Right hand inside of your right leg, pick up your back leg. So we'll go for that arch side first. You might just try. As you pick up your left hand, maybe you immediately can reach for the arch side, right? So there's no expectations, but sometimes you give it a whirl and you surprise yourself. If that's not working, no big deal, right? You just go for the outside, and then we do the whole walking thing. So you walk over your big toe to the arch side. Still, the top of my left thigh is flat against the floor. You can do a visual check as well, right? So you might just peek out back behind you, check that this left leg is not veering out to the left too much. And then from here, we'll practice that again. Your left elbow lifts, so you have leverage to push this foot closer to your hip. And we're just getting this lovely, lovely quad stretch. And the thing is, all of these stretches are really tied to each other. So, you know, when you think about Camel, which is a backward bend, it's not just the flexibility of your spine, it's also like how much access you have in your quads and your shoulders. So all of these different exercises seem isolated, but they're actually quite intertwined and they help each other out, which is really lovely. All right, from here, let's gently let go. And we're switching to the outside, right? So switching to the outside. From here, see if this might be possible. You pick up your right hand and take your right hand to your left foot as well. You might bend your left arm to help bring your foot in closer. And then as you kick into your hand, it might be the case that you start to topple over to your right hand side, in which case grab something so you can have some more support. Kick into your foot into your hand, open up through your chest. One more breath. Kick, draw your shoulders back. And gently release. Lower this right hand back down. We return to the arch side of our foot. And you might try just sliding this foot into the soft part of your elbow. And then see if you can reach maybe down toward your left knee. I feel like I have less access on this side. If you're like, what? Go from here and do this little sort of like circling movements. Kind of gently encourage your foot to go closer to the soft part of your elbow. If this is still not working out, it's no problem, right? We're kind of gently transitioning through to that place. You might try this. I don't know if this makes it any easier, but using your left arm to pull your foot in closer, and then take your right hand up. This requires a little bit of balance to pull your foot in even closer so you help yourself out and your foot is in your elbow. You might try hands together. You might try this lift, chin up, chest up. You get a nice openness through your front body, your shoulders, your chest. Drop your shoulders down. Nice quad stretch as well. It's a little bit more passive, right? Because we're not really actively drawing our heel in closer, but good just the same. A mixture of active and passive, so good for us. And gently, let's see if we unwind it, release it. Very mindfully, let this foot go. Yes. Face your right leg again, tuck your left toes in, and we'll send this right leg back and up, three-legged dog. Push your right foot up high toward the ceiling, lift, and lower this right foot down, downward facing dog. I feel like our hips are so open at this point that it would be a shame not to just do a quick little camel. So lower down to your knees, and we'll find ourselves in our quick setup for camel. So knees about hip width apart. You might go a little bit wider if you feel like you're kind of close to reaching for your heels, but you're just a little bit kind of out of reach. You can also tuck these toes in, which gives you a little bit more elevation. Hands behind you. We'll do 2 rounds. So I like that first round just to keep my hands on hips. You can decide what works better for you. Ooh, just that initial push of my hips forward, you might feel it yourself as well. Feels so open, feels so nice. Take an inhale, lift. Just as we did in our head roll, let your head relax back. Push your pelvis forward. Good, gently lift yourself up. And you can stay here or sit your hips onto your heels. I'm gonna keep my toes tucked just for a little bit of toe breaking. And we'll go for our second round. So up onto your knees. Again, you can have your toes tucked or you can have your feet flat against the floor. It's totally your choice. Lift your chest up, allow your head to relax back. And you might go for one hand to your heel, the other hand to your heel. Lift your chest, push your hips forward. Take one more breath. Now, to unwind, one hand back to your hip, the other hand back to your hip. Support yourself all the way up and gently untuck toes, lower your hips back down to your heels. Take a moment here just to rest, to recoup, and to give your body some time to breathe. It's really interesting, I feel like with a larger posture, like kind of a very big chest opener, as in Camel, it's really easy to give ourselves or succumb into that reaction. Like, what is it? Is this a tremendous opening? You might feel like you want to get out of it right away. And what I love about yoga is that really it teaches us to breathe. And it sounds so hokey, right? But I think just using that Camel as an example, which is a very big chest opener, it's easy for our bodies, our minds just to respond with like rejection, immediate emotion. But with hopefully the practice of yoga with breath as our underlying foundation of it all, we can just choose to slow things down, calm ourselves before we give into that emotion, right? Maybe you still, of course, allow yourself to feel all those things, but we get this moment of just like stepping back and away from the situation, and we get this moment of calm, right? To really allow ourselves to breathe, to calm ourselves down. And to me, this is such a beautiful tool that we can take away with us, not just like in Camel, but with anything else in life that maybe throws a curveball at us, right? We can really choose to slow things down, take a breath. So let's do that right here. A couple slow, deep breaths in through your nose. Exhale it out. Maybe you close your eyes, drop your shoulders away from your ears. Do that again, full deep inhale. Long, slow exhale. Start to tuck your chin in toward your chest. And slowly round through your spine. We're not going to go all the way down, so once you're at a place where your like hands on thighs does not feel very good, you can place your hands on the floor. And gently use your hands to support you as you lower down farther. Maybe you curl a little bit tighter, rounding through your spine. And just when your head is about to reach the floor, slowly lift yourself back up. Still very, very rounded through your spine. Still your shoulders relaxed away from ears. Let your head be heavy as you upright your spine again. Let your chin, your head, be the last to lift up. We'll take a couple breaths to close, hands on either side or on your lap, you choose. Full deep in through your nose. Long, slow exhale out through your nose. One more time. Full deep inhale. Long, slow exhale. Good. Your next inhale, open your eyes. Well done today. A lot of that chest opening, shoulder opening stuff is kind of difficult to get ourselves to do, but it's so good once we actually do it, and hopefully it trickles into the other activities that we do and the other transitions and other parts of our yoga practice as well. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I feel very zenned out right now, which feels so, so nice. Tomorrow we are on for some cardio things, so 9 a.m. We'll get it done quick. I'll see you then. All right, have a good day.